All right. Good morning, everybody. It's nice to have you with us. Thank you for coming today to today's information on uh, navigating bus and metro. We're so happy to have with us Gernae Ocasio from the Department of Access Services. She's a metro system orientation specialist, and we have worked with her for many years on doing travel trips and other educational events. So she's a wealth of knowledge. So thank you, Gernae, for being here today. Just as a reminder, everybody is muted, so please go ahead and put your questions into the Q&A box. And with that, we'll get started. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gernae Ocasio, like she mentioned, and I've been with Metro for 21 years, um, serving the disabled community. I had to tell you that I love what I do. I do travel training, I do outreach, and I'm a little bit of jack of all trades. I make ID cards for the reduced fare program only. So today, what the focus is going to be on is the services that Metro offers. So as you can see, we're showing the system map for Metro Rail, and basically because of the expansion, we go all the way to Loudoun County. Um, but these are areas that MetroAccess will service, as well as 8 areas with our transit partners. So our transit partners are Fairfax Connector, the Ride On. PG is also one of ours, but it's areas in PG County that we do not cover. So if you can go to the next slide. Hello. Okay, so one of the programs, this covers 3. The Reduced Fare Program for people with disability, it allows customers who qualify to ride Metro Bus, Metro Rail, and like I said, our transit partners at a discount. With this card now, with if you ride the Metro Bus, is what's going to cost you $1.15. So if you ride that bus and you transfer to the rail for the rail, then that bus ride is deducted. So the bus ride becomes free. The same thing if you go from rail to bus, specifically Metro bus, then that bus ride becomes free. We also have the senior citizen smart trip card. This is a permanent card for people who are 65 years or older. It gives the same discount as the reduced fare. So if you go from the reduced fare to the senior smart trip card, if you go to our office, they can transfer any monies from the reduced fare card to the senior smart trip card if there's a balance left. There's a new program called the LIFT, which is income based. So if anyone is on SNAP and they're not on Metro Access or the Reduced Fare Program or the Senior Citizen Smart Trip Program, they can ride Metro specifically at the same discounted price. So, for instance, with Metro Lift, if the food stamp cardholder family members, um, they also get the discount if they're not, like I said, on one of our programs. So anybody 5 and above that's on the SNAP benefit program can get a smart trip card for them to ride Metro bus and Metro rail at a discount. Next, go ahead to the next slide. So the reduced fare program for people with disabilities, they receive half fare. We no longer have a peak fare; it's a flat fare now. So it's always half of the flat fare. You never pay more than $3 one way. And once again, like I said, if you go from bus to rail and rail to bus, the bus rides are free. In the $3 one direction, that's half of the maximum price that a person would pay to ride on Metro. You can submit applications through the Transit Accessibility Center. But you can also send it to our travel training mailbox, as well as contact us for groups. So I come out and I do groups of 6 or more. If the applications are completed, I take their photos and then I, in turn, send the ID cards via mail or a drop-off visit. Next. So the reduced fare card, these are two of the type cards that are distributed. The one up top means that this person with disability can ride sometimes or all the time. Well, they can ride basically without any support. The one with the red border, and when it says PCA, the PCA is a personal care attendant. When they get that card, that means that sometimes they can ride by themselves on good days, and other times they may need to have somebody ride with them at all times. So those are the two different Smart Trip cards. With the one with the red border, if they do have a PCA, the PCA always travels behind that person. You can't let anybody go in between, because if so, it becomes a full fare card instead of a PCA card, and it will charge you full price. Um, Another thing is, when you touch the target with the PCA, it has to be the same target that the card holder tap. You only get one PCA card and one ID card. So if you are a PCA and your husband or spouse or friend or whoever wants to travel with this individual, they would have to use the same card all over each time. So it's only one card per person. Next. So this is the application. The application can complete it by a healthcare professional. You automatically qualify if it's a Medicare card, or if you're a veteran 60% or greater, or if you have an audiogram with 70 dB greater hearing loss or greater, you automatically qualify. You just have to show that proof, as well as show a government issued ID. It could be a school ID. I go to a lot of schools and process the ID, so it could be a school ID. Okay, next. So if it is completed by a healthcare provider, for instance, if I go to a school, the school psychologist completes it. She can't complete it for the person being deaf or hard of hearing. It has to be based on cognitive. Okay, next. So what are the benefits of the reduced fare card? It automatically charges the discounts fare. You don't have to have cash. You can add money online at fare machines, on the buses, and commuter stores. The only thing is, if you add money on the bus, say for instance you add the $20, it's going to automatically take off the fare. So sometimes it's best, and especially if you're a caretaker or a care provider and you want to have access to see what's being spent, it's good to just do these things online. If you do add money online, note that it takes 24 hours for the money to go to your account. Okay. You can do it also at commuter stores. Um, if you do get this card, when you take Amtrak, there is a 10% discount for Amtrak riders. So another thing is, unlike using cash, when you tap on a Smart Trip card on a bus, you have unlimited bus-to-bus transfers. So you can take in for 2 hours and ride as many buses as you want. You're only going to be charged that one time. Certain areas give free bus rides. So Prince George's County, the bus, Montgomery County ride-on, Metro Bus in Montgomery County, and the City of Alexandria bus, Dash Bus is currently free. Okay. The fare isn't deducted from the Smart Trip cards, say for instance, for you into the rail station until you actually leave that station. So you tap in the station, it's not charging you, it charges when you tap out. Next. So I was telling you about the Metro Lift program earlier. It's a 50% discount only on Metro Bus and Metro Rail, is for any resident who resides in DC, Maryland, or Virginia. They had to be a SNAP participant, and you had to also show government issued photo ID when you apply. But you can apply online. So you would use your current full fare smart trip card, and you would use that for enrollment online. Or you can go to the Transit Accessibility Center. But once again, you can still use this current smart trip card that you have, the full fare card, and it will be put onto that card. Okay. Once again, like I said earlier, it can't be combined with other reduced fare programs. Like if you have MetroAccess and you have the card that allows you to ride free, the senior citizen card, or the reduced fare smart trip card. Next. So MetroAccess, this isn't my specialty, but I'm gonna do my darnest. So for MetroAccess paratransit services, this service is really for people who cannot ride bus and rail, and that's what is fixed route is basically bus and rail for some or all of their trips. There is an application and that you have to complete, and it has to be completed um, by a licensed care professional. Unlike the reduced fare program where you can just show proof of being deaf or hard of hearing or a disabled veteran or Medicare card holder, this program specifically requires you to um, have it completed by a healthcare professional. When you do that, please make sure that they complete everything. Make sure that this application is totally complete. If you mail it in, please keep yourself a copy. But it's important that everything is completed because if not, they will reject this application and mail it back to you. And then that's a long process of waiting for it to come back and forth. The customers this is a door-to-door service, so you have to at least plan your trip one day ahead of time. It's not where I can just call and say, hey, I need Metro Access. No, you have to do it a day in advance. And they don't go out 3/4 outside of our service areas. So say for instance, I live in Woodbridge area. They're not going to come out there. They do serve Fairfax County, but outside of Fairfax County, no, they will not go 3/4 miles outside the route. Okay. Next. So these are the two different types of Metro Access cards. The conditional eligible, that's if you want to use, if you qualify. It's not if you want to, it's based on what the doctor says, it's based on the assessment. And right now they are not doing in-person assessment. So really it's based on what the doctor diagnosis is. So with this type card, you can ride bus and rail at no cost. And the Smart Trip PCA, once again, you have to tap that right at the card holder taps their card to go on side the bus and the rail. If not, it will charge you. Metro will not reimburse you. The other blue card that you see means that they were deemed only eligible to ride Metro Access. Next. So this tells you the difference of the eligibility. Once again, the conditional eligibility is for those who can use fixed route. Some disabilities have good days and bad days where, say for instance, you have an autoimmune disease that affects you from being out in the cold. So those days you would really like to take the paratransit versus on a nice spring day and the weather is warm and it doesn't affect you where their body aches and pains, then you can take bus and rail. So that's what the conditional eligible, that's what it looks for. And for the fully eligible, those are just customers who once again really can't don't have the choice of a good day or bad day, but must always use the Metro Access to pick you up door to door. Okay. I hope I didn't say that incorrectly, but yeah, that's basically how it is. So this is really hard to see, but when you're applying now, and I do really stress that you send these online. So if you're the first time customer for MetroAccess, email it to eligibility@WMATA.com. You can fax it. If you fax it, you're going to have to, first timers, you're going to have to include a picture and the government issued IDs. It's going to be that way for all of them. So if you're a first timer and you're applying, you will need to send, whether you fax it or email, but I do stress email because it's quicker, um, that you submit the application, make sure it's completed, fully completed, a headshot, and a government issue ID. When you do a headshot, please make it where it's a plain background. Okay. So the email, as you can see, is eligibility@wamata.com. You can fax it, and you can also bring it to our downtown location at LaFont at 655 Virginia Avenue Southwest. That is at the LaFont Metro Station, and you would want to go on the D side. Um, exit, that's the best one to go. But if you use the elevator, because there is an elevator there, that's not going to be the D side exit. But if you do take the elevator, you will come up 7th Street. When you come out the elevator, you make a right-hand turn, come up 7th Street, and then you'll see a crosswalk. You can go across the crosswalk and go a little bit up the hill, and you'll see our office on the right-hand side. Next. So I kind of already said this, how you can submit the documents. They are only open during the weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. So they're not doing the assessments in person right now. They do them occasionally, but it's not like prior where they was doing them every day. Um, but sometimes they will ask for a customer to come in to do an assessment. Please know that they have 21 business days to make a determination and mail out a card. Okay. If you're not eligible, if they send you and say you're not eligible, if they didn't send you a MetroAccess card, and sometimes they would say, well, this person can use the reduced fare, they don't need MetroAccess. You can appeal this process. We do have ombudsman for that. Next. So when you want to appeal it because you were denied, whether it's reduced fare, MetroAccess, or conditional eligibility, you can contact our ombudsman at 202-962-1100, and you're going to dial hit 4 when you hear the voice recording, or if no one picks up. But you do have to pick option 4, or you can email adap@WMATA.com, and the ombudsman will respond to you. Next. So you never want to lose any of these cards. I'm not going to say the Lyft card there's no charge, but for the reduced fare and Metro Access cards, there is a charge. The first time is $10. Anytime thereafter within the 3-year period for the 3-year card, which is the conditional, or the 5-year card is $10. So, for instance, with the reduced fare card, they generally last for 5 years. With the Metro Access card, it can last for 3 years to 5 years, or 5 years, based on which you were eligible for. So, as an example, if you lose the reduced fare card within a 5-year period, the first time is $10, second time, $25, third time, $25, fourth time, $25. So hold on to these cards like they're gold, because it gets expensive to lose it. The PCA card replacement is only $2. Okay. If you had get a police report, then they waived the fee, but you had to stress that the card was stolen on that police report. Okay. For damaged cards, Can you go back for damaged cards? They don't charge you for damaged cards. They will replace a non-working card at no fee. You can go on. You can do this in person. You can mail the money in a money order. They don't accept checks. For the reduced fare card, there is an online process, but basically a lot of people don't use it. So just keep in mind that you can go if you want it right away to go. Just go to the Transit Accessibility Center. Okay. Next. So this is helpful tips for MetroAccess. It says, "Where's my ride?" These are the numbers that you will call to find out where your ride is, okay? Which is 301-562-5360. Then you hit option 2, or you can use text. And you can also do web booking. So if you wanted to book your trip, you can do that by going to the web booking URL, and these things are listed in on our webpage, as well as Easy Pay. That way, because if you catch Metro Access, you have to, if you use cash, you have to have the exact cash amount. They do not give you change, okay? And then Tim, I believe, Tim, isn't that you all? I believe that is a part of the ARC system, if I'm not mistaken. But that gives a lot of assistance with traveling on bus and rail. It's a teacher, really. So next. Abilities ride. So everyone doesn't qualify for abilities ride, but when you get Metro Access, when you get the documentation, it will give you information on how to sign up for abilities ride. Abilities ride is, you can go to the next page. Ability ride is basically a cab services that will pick you up. Uber, cab, but you would sign up once you were approved for Metro Access. So if you ever needed to call the office to find out where's your application, what's the application status, did anybody return my lost card? You can call this number 202-962-2700. If you need for them to mail you an application, you can call them, whether it's reduced fare or Metro Access, they will mail you an application. Or you can get it from on our website. It's kind of hard to find, but they will direct you and help you with that also. Any questions?
Thank you, Gernae. Does anybody have any questions? I don't see any questions in the Q&A box.
Doesn't that mean I did
Um,
a good job?
um, I do want to say we did just over the summer, I think it was in July, we did have a presentation from a representative about Metro Access. She did a whole 1 hour presentation, and that's on our YouTube channel. So if you're particularly interested in Metro Access, we have that available. Gernae, I just have a question. Again, how long are the cards good for? If you get a reduced fare card, how long are they good for?
5 years.
5 years. And so then you have to resubmit, you have to fill out, have a physician's,
You have to not for the reduced fare. If you have Medicare, um, audiogram, then you automatically qualify. You just have to show that proof. But for all of the programs, you do have to reapply if you expire. Whether it's Metro Access or the reduced fare, you have to reapply every time it expires. You just don't have to reapply if your card is lost or stolen.
great, thank you.
Okay. And keep in mind too, the difference is with the application process. I'm sorry, with the application process, the difference is that a school psychologist can do the reduced fare. a school psychologist cannot do MetroAccess.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
There is one question. If you have Medicaid with nursing, can we have the link for Metro? I think, does that mean you're applying for a Metro Access card? Oh, yeah. So the Metro Access card, that I'm going to send the slides out to everyone. They'll be posted on the Padlet, and Gernae did include how to apply for Metro Access there. Right? That was the sheet that you had included on the slide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great. Any other questions? All right, then. Well, if there are no more questions, I'll say thank you, Gernae, very much for taking the time this afternoon. And as I said, all of this, the recording and the slides will be posted on our Transition Series Padlet later today. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.